My biggest lesson from Drag Race was literally it's all about a mindset. I think if you go in there, like you could be the most sickening performer, you could have the most sickening clothes. If you're not sure of who you are as a performer, as a person, I think that's the secret recipe is like confidence and knowing who you are and to just always treat yourself like with the most kindness.
So, hey everybody, it's Zain, it's Egan, it's the Extravaganza.
We're back.
Did we ever leave?
Yeah, well, we took a little breather. But we're back. We're better than ever. The fashion's fashioning, and we are good to go.
We are basing this episode today on the 6th season, 2nd episode of Canada's Drag Race, and themes that came up were the idea of being single, being a senior, and how sexy can you be before it becomes uncomfortably sexual.
Trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning. Like, I am old, I am single, and I am not having sex. So let's talk about it.
Which part bothers you the most?
Oh,
being single, being senior, being
being senior. All these other people are like, oh, I love getting older. I'm gonna sit in the woods and read a book and drink tea all day long. I'm like, no, you're gonna die any day. Like, getting old, especially in the gay world, is like it's a death sentence, right? You reach a certain age in the gay community and you're invisible almost. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'd even say it's as young
invisible to who? Who are you invisible to?
To the other gays, right?
No.
But yeah. Oh, Zain, come along. Listen. Maybe it's the gays that I want to hang out with that are.
Who do you want to hang out with? Who do you hang out with, and where do you go to hang out?
22-year-olds, I suppose.
Really?
Well, no, they're just cute, They're cute. I mean, they're useful, but they're cute.
So why don't you just go where 22-year-olds hang out with?
Because you're invisible to them. See what I'm saying? You come on. You're not acknowledging that that's not a problem in the gay community. That we get to a certain age.
That's a blanket thing. That's a blanket thing. Okay, so you feel unseen. So it's because you're old. I remember once I went to go buy stuff at Shoppers Drug Mart, and somebody was like, "Seniors discount?" I was like, "Excuse me." I was like, "How old do you need to be for the seniors discount?" Wait, 55. You think I qualify for the seniors discount? And then she's like, oh, so no seniors discount? And then she didn't even give it to me. So you insinuated that I qualified for the seniors discount, and then you didn't give it to me.
But because you didn't qualify for it.
But told me thought I looked like I did.
But you don't. There are rules in place, Zain. Just because someone says, "Do you have ID? Are you old enough?" You say no. They're like, perfect. Then no.
That's at the liquor store. That is at the liquor store, and then you're like, "Ooh, you think I look 19? Hey, that's a joke." No, you are old. You are buying makeup, Grandpa. Do I need to give you a discount?
And I should have been like, yes. No, because I'm not at the correct age. That's what that was about. Anyways, I can't with you with this conversation.
The singledom, does that bother you? And would you go on a singles cruise? If you went on a singles cruise, how would you comport yourself?
Like, if I'm going on this cruise, am I going by myself, or are you coming with me? Like, am I going with a friend, or am I going solo-mish?
Wait, so that's different. Are you going with a friend, or are you going with me?
Two different things. So listen, I've been single pretty much my entire. It's never been part of my world being, and that has a lot to do with my own, insecurity, selfishness, all that kind of stuff. Yes, that we can unpack that another time. But I've gotten so used to being on my own that I've started to embrace it. Like, although I don't know if I've ever been to the movies alone, but I definitely go to I go see theater alone. I went to Coachella this year by myself, had the best time. The thing about being single in those terms that you don't have to worry about anybody else's feelings or their schedule or their mood or their budget. Yes. And so those are things but I often wonder if we're just saying that just to make ourselves feel better that we are single, right?
I think that like with single, it's like you can be alone and not be lonely, or you can be in a room full of people and still feel so lonely. And I think
I wrote a play about that years ago called Whoosh, and it was all about that moment when how lonely you can be in a room full of people, and yet be the most popular person around, but you still are so lonely, and the vice versa, right?
And so, how do you combat that?
Yeah, how do you combat that?
Oh, you don't have an answer. You wrote a play on that. You don't have an answer.
Well, it was tragic. Some of them did it poorly, and some of them embraced it. Right? It was different. Everybody dealt with it differently, right? It all depends on how you're coming into the room. Now, the thing about being single, though, is that it doesn't really allow. Well, it does. The whole sexual lifestyle. If you're single, it's not as easy, I guess. But some people would say it's way easier, right? I mean, you can order in any night of the week, right? You just get on the app
You
and
can
you
do
order
whatever you
in.
want. I don't know. I think there's a fine line of being selfish and cooperative, but
Are
sexy.
you are
Wait,
you
what are you gonna
Zane?
ask me?
Are you on you're on any of the dating apps? Are you on Raya now? You're on Raya, aren't you? Do we
I
all know what
was.
Raya is?
I
Raya is for
was
the
on Raya. I
and what
got
happened?
nothing.
Oh my God.
Crickets.
Well,
Nothing. I think someone needs to, I need someone to look at my dating profiles, not even my meeting profile, whatever you want to call it,
your
and
meeting
go,
profile. I
how
don't
do
meet. I don't date. I meet.
what do I need to do? Do I have to change my write-up? Do I have to change my photos? Because some people are like, no, you got to fix this. Some are like, this is great, but crickets.
Do you want
I
my
like
opinion?
meeting
Like,
people.
do you
Yeah,
want my
I do
opinion?
want your opinion. I do want your opinion on how to be unsingled and more sexier. Yes, please.
Well, it's so funny you should say that because all of my girlfriends, my girl think that you are very sexy and attractive. In fact, my adopted sister, Kirsty, she would like to spend her life with you, and she's devastated that she can't because you're a homosexual and she's delusional. So those things they don't really match up so well. But like, I think it's a matter of you realizing you're those things in order to project a better version of yourself, right? Because you are those things. You're what, 6'5"? How tall are you? 6'8"? How tall are you?
6'7".
6'7". Are
No,
you
I'm
really?
6'3". I'm
Oh,
6'3". I'm 6'3". You set me up for that.
I didn't. I'm like, and I represent the lollipop kids, right? So like, it's
Yes.
what the difference that we have going on there. So I think it's more about being able to, and I have the same things. People say things to me, and I'm like, you really see me that way? I don't know that I don't see myself that way because I'm very visual. There's definitely the fact that I lost my hair so early. I think that was a big thing for me and affected how I went out into the world. I've always had body issues, and even now, I started Ozempic a few months ago,
You did?
and you didn't know that?
No.
You can't tell? Great.
No.
Yeah, I did, and you didn't know that? Why does nobody notice?
How long does it take for it to work?
You asshole. You an asshole. It has worked.
I haven't
By the,
seen you in person. I don't know.
there you go. Well, it's I now fit clothes that I didn't
Good for
fit.
you. Good for
Yeah,
you. Good for you.
I've
Do
been.
the thing you need to do. But okay.
Yeah, but it's expensive, so I
Hey
don't know.
man, sometimes it costs money to look beautiful.
Hello, but apparently it's not working. So,
Paula's here. Paula's ready to join.
Oh,
Sweet.
my God, you look beautiful.
hi. Thank you, baby.
We also wore our in the shadows outfits. We tried to see if we could kind of get in on the theme here. Paolo, I'm Egan, and that's Zane.
Nice to meet you, babes.
Nice to meet
Paula,
you.
we had I met you briefly in the summer when you were out in Vancouver with Hazel. I think when we did that fitness class at Barry, was it Barry's?
Yes. Oh my
Yes.
God.
But I didn't know. I was like, who's this beautiful person? And I'm like, why are they friends with Hazel? And I was like, I think they're on the show, but I
So
didn't know.
did
But
you
hi, here
do
you are. Nice to
did
see
you
you.
do the
What?
workout in drag? Was it a drag workout?
No,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she was
that'd be fun. We should
representing
do
as
that for
her.
Pride sometime. Drag workout
I
for
don't know
business.
about that.
It's a lot of work in there. So Paolo, thank you for joining us today. Let's just jump in there right now. Watching the show back, like you filmed it a year ago about, what was your first reaction watching the episode back going, okay, I lived it, now I'm watching it again. What was your biggest takeaway from the experience?
I think my biggest takeaway is I think in there my mindset was very like somewhat worrisome, right? I think it's like it was very much of a new experience for me. My second time performing was actually on the show.
Oh well.
So this
Wait,
was like all yes, baby. I've
what?
never worked at a gay club before. I used to be in a straight club. I didn't have any sisters. So it was such a like new experience. Like every day something new. So I
How
kind
did you
of
get on the
love
show?
the universe.
Huh?
No, for real, I'm
There
gonna
you
deal
go.
with the universe. I did okay. So I used to smoke a little bit of weed and it was like kind of affecting me like negatively. So it was like my friend told me she used to live in Bali for like 7 years. She was like, okay, babe, try this. You give up something that's bad for you for 2 months, and in exchange, you ask the universe to give you like something that you want that's like positive. So I was like, okay, I'll stop smoking weeds for 2 months, and in exchange, I want to get on the show. I stop on the 20th. 2 months later, on the 20th, I get a call that I'm on, and that day sunset was at 4:44.
So tell me this. You
It's
said at
crazy.
the end of the show, I am the universe is me.
Yes.
what does that mean to you then, since we're getting into the woo-woo right now?
Okay, so
No.
at that time, I feel like I was in a very like dark headspace for like the last 3 years. I was like going through it low key. And I started doing this thing called Kundalini yoga. So it's like the awakening. Oh, you into that, mama?
Yeah, I had a paralyzed arm from a skiing accident in 97. I took up Kundalini yoga and it regenerated. The doctor said there's a 70% chance you won't use your arm again. And
When did
No,
that
you better
happen,
wake
babe?
that up.
Yeah. Was it Kunda what?
Kundalini yoga.
Kundalini,
Not,
because I'm
not
thinking
what
it's
you
something
think it
else.
is. You're
I'm
thinking
thinking
something.
I'm hearing a whole other word.
Yeah,
So you go
mama,
to
a little
yoga and you
different.
find this in you. Is that what you said? Is that what happened?
Not even like I was doing it like online in my house. And basically what my friend told me is like, she was like, "Oh, there's this very like spiritual aspect to it, but even if you don't believe in a spiritual aspect to it, there's like it will literally like help your nervous system, and it does something to your body, it does something to you, and just like you said, like it helped with your hand, and like I fully believe it. Like it's crazy how breath and just like your mindset can fully like transform you as a person. And I did it like every day for 2 months, and I remember like I started noticing so many changes in my like who I was as a person, like establishing boundaries, like rooting for myself. Like I finally felt like I was like myself again. But to bring back to I am the universe is me, I don't remember the context, but it was in one of the videos.
Yeah. Let me
Yeah.
ask you. So, when now that you're doing drag again, and it's been described to me that sometimes drag feels like armor, so that you feel this confidence that maybe you didn't have before, or this ability to do something that maybe you were nervous to try before. Have you had that experience now doing drag? Anything that you're like, wow, I can do these things?
Yeah, definitely. I think performing was a big part of them. Like I think look wise, like let's keep it a buck, like that was never the struggle, right?
That's I'm not going to
However,
disagree.
I think that the mindset of like I was for some reason, okay, I had one performance I used to work at a straight bar. So I did one performance there. And at the time, the person I was working with basically said, "Well, great job. This was like phenomenal, but this is your first and last show. Haha, JK." But then like come to find out it was never a joke. Like I never performed again. And I think in the back of my mind, it kind of like became an insecurity about like performing and like, am I like a bad performer? Am I not enough? And I just ended up like never wanting to perform really after that. So on the show, it was very like my mindset going in there was like, I'm gonna need to do so good because there's no way I'm lip syncing. Like I do not want to lip sync.
Right.
And I was so happy that I got to lip sync like with Sammy, and the song was so wackadoodle. It was so us. I had the best time, and I feel like I really overcame that fear of lip
Uh,
syncing.
That's great.
Looking back at your time on the show, what would you do more of? What would you do better? What would you do different?
I feel like I wouldn't change anything. In a sense that I think I'm like looking at the past thinking, oh, I could have done this better. I think maybe like in the future I would do things differently, right? But
Well, so what would that be? What would you do differently looking forward as you're going forward now? In this, I assume you're performing now more. And what would you do now differently going forward?
well, I think a lot of it has to do with the costumes. I think the way I used to sew is very different now and then. Cause, just hanging out with Vanessa and like seeing how she does like certain things and what makes a outfit drag. You know what I mean? Cause like when you're on stage, like you could be wearing the most gorgeous gown, but if you have no rhinestone low key,
You're out.
not that much hot. Yes. So definitely rhinestoning stuff. And also I feel like I've been playing with patterns and stuff and like just making things that are giving a bit more drag, finding what my drag style is. Cause I think prior to that I was like mainly just a cross dresser.
So, do you think you
Wait,
found
what's
who
the
you are?
difference?
Yeah.
Hang on, what's the difference between a crossdresser and a drag performer?
I would say the level of effort that goes into it.
How so?
I think that cross dressing is, honestly, I don't know.
I think Jose, I think cross dressing is putting on a pair of heels and a little bit of lipstick and calling it a day. In drag, you're
Well,
doing the whole
yeah.
glam from top to bottom.
Okay.
So Paolo, what are you doing now? What's next? Where are you going from here?
Oh my God, where am I not going, Mama? That's a
Tell me.
question.
Yeah.
I've been like so grateful with like all the reception. I've been like received so well, which I wasn't
Mm.
expecting like all of that love to come all at once. It's definitely been like overwhelming in the best way. Like I'm so grateful for it. Well, I'm definitely like the lyricist of like season 6, so
That's
there's
not
definitely music coming out.
great. Great.
Um,
And are you performing more now? Or are you performing? Are you still just performing in straight clubs, or have you ventured into
no,
music?
I'm
No.
not really at the straight club anymore. I did perform there for Halloween though, which was like a nice little. It felt like it
How
was
do you
like. Pardon?
how do you get received by straight audiences versus queer audiences?
I think it depends. It depends of the day because sometimes they're like so into it, they're loving it. But I think also for a straight audience, what I've come to realize is a lot of the time they're confused. Like they just think that I'm trans and they don't get that I'm a drag queen.
Right. And do
Because
you
like
feel
obviously I'm not like a woman, but they're like very feminine. Like I'm not doing like the crazy eye makeup. Like I don't know. I don't even block my brows, you know?
Mm.
I don't know. So I think sometimes it's confusing for them, but they still like it. I don't
well,
really care, honestly.
I would say that the world itself is opening up, that everybody's a little confused now, or everybody's just trying to stick their toes in different waters. And I think that's great that you go in there and maybe help some people along their way. Right.
I
Well,
love
I
that.
think it's great. Well, I think that came across as so charming on the show. I found you to be very funny. And I wonder sometimes what's the if drag and art and everything in Quebec is different than the rest of Canada, and how we can see more of that coming from you. Do you see a difference between what you're doing there and what we're doing in Western Canada, for example?
Okay, well, I think that okay, perform Montreal, Vancouver, Toronto, and they're all so like such different crowds. Like I think that out of all the crowds, Vancouver definitely as a next level of respect for the drag queens.
Okay.
Like they
Well,
tip the girl down boots. They're sitting there. They're watching. They go to watch a drag show. I think in Toronto they're very like marathon drag, which in my opinion, I first of all I don't think I've met one drag queen that likes to do a marathon drag. Everyone hates it, low key. And I feel like to be on stage for 30 minutes nonstop, having to entertain, it's almost like the thing I don't like about Toronto drag is like you have to like fight for people's attention. It's like, baby, like, do you want to see me or not? Like, I don't care. You know what I mean?
One thing we really want to get from you is just the tip. So, what we've asked for you to do is to prepare something for us to apply some of your skills and your gifts. And at the end of whatever you teach us, you're going to be the judge of which one of us executed it better. So, Paolo Perfeccion, what is your tip for us?
Okay, hold on. I wrote it down.
Okay.
I fully forgot. That's so rich of me. Um, oh my God,
I
I'm trying
think
to find, and all that's written in my paper thing is like model pussy. That's also, okay. My thing had Loki nothing to do with drag. It was more about like mindset. So what I've come to term in this show and what I've realized in life is that the best gift you can do to yourself is to truly not care and to position your opinion on what you feel about yourself and not what the perspective of others is. Does that make
How
sense?
do we do that? Because in theory, that makes sense. In theory, that is what we all attain to. But how do we do that?
what
Think
was it?
by
Go ahead, Paolo.
every day, okay, start really easy. Every time you think of something like a judgment, a fear, anything, you need to be able to identify what it is about your mindset and how to switch it. Like if you're able to like clock, like let's say, I don't know, I'm at a gig and someone makes a weird comment about like my lace showing. In that moment, am I gonna start like tweaking about it? Or am I gonna be like, baby, like I don't care. Like the lights are blown up. Do I like is it really gonna like affect me? Or I feel like that was a terrible example actually.
No, I think it's
No,
a great
it's
example because
switching.
as artists, we let things affect us sometimes, right? So the smallest
Yeah.
thing can affect us. And I really appreciate what you're saying. That it reminds me of what Paula Abdul said in episode 1. It was like, prepare to fail, fail to prepare, something to that effect. And I feel like that's where a bit of that can be.
Yeah, I think because my biggest lesson from Drag Race was literally it's all about a mindset. I think if you go in there, like you could be the most sickening performer, you could have the most sickening clothes. If you're not gonna sell it, if you're not sure of who you are as a performer, as a person. I think that's the secret recipe is like confidence and knowing who you are and to just always treat yourself like with the most kindness.
I love that.
Gas
I think
yourself
that's
up.
great advice. I agree.
Thank you for all those thoughtful answers because I think that a lot of times we want to focus on the glitz and the glamour of it, but I really appreciate you talking about the mindset and the yoga practice and
Be
uh,
kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. I think that's
yes.
really important, right? We could all take that advice, right? Be kind to your mind, be kind to yourself.
We were talking earlier about the themes of the episode: singles cruise, being senior, and being sexy but not too overtly sexual. Do you have any advice on how to be a sexy single senior
Senior.
in the scene today?
Well,
To be
I think
seen on the scene.
it always comes down to energy, babe. Like you, at the end of the day, if you have good aura, you're nice to people. It is what it like. You guys are good looking. That's Swash.
Oh,
You know
thank
what
you
I
so
mean?
much.
So I don't think you have to worry about that like that. Just live, laugh, love, diva.
Live, laugh, love, diva. Well, I don't know a better way to finish this other than live, laugh, love, diva.
Amazing. Okay, thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Paolo.
We really appreciate you joining us today and all the best. I look forward to seeing you perform very soon.
Yes, baby.
Okay. Au revoir.
Bye.
That's all my French I have. So
That's too good.